Josh Johnny Sins. If you know who I am, you know who I am. If you don't know who I am, now you know. A warm welcome to you all. Article analysis today, as per usual. Now, the dating game. Modern dating is not a very pleasant place to be at the moment, with the You Go Girl movement, everything's stunning and brave, and the fact that if men just want to, express their interest, even if it's not in an intimidating or an aggressive way, and ask women on a date, they can be hit with the accusations of all natures and proportions, and men don't want that. And men are tapping out of the dating game because they're realizing that it's rigged against them. Women want too much. The average man can't provide that much, or as I said loads of times, the average woman wants the above average man. That's it. The average woman wants the above average man, and they won't settle for less because they're told, you're a queen, you deserve what you get. Anyways, I have this article here. It's from 9 years ago, but I think it's pretty relevant to today. It still is, and it's why it's not always fun to play the dating game. And this is from the Irish Examiner, and the headline is, the sub-headline: drink-fueled encounters, girls roaming in packs, guys looking for a one-night stand. You can just go to IKEA and get that. Welcome to Singleton, Ireland, says Aileen Quinlan, apologies. Guys complain that girls roam in packs and are hard to approach, but women gripe. Men sit in groups drinking all night and then come looking for a drunken one-night stand. Welcome to Singleton, Ireland, where it's almost impossible to find a romance. Now, Ireland is still steeped in its traditionalism. There's still a lot of shame around promiscuity and everything else, but parts of Ireland are becoming a lot more progressive than the rest of the country. You have country towns in Ireland, or towns outside of Dublin, so to speak, that are quite behind. Dublin's a lot more progressive. I said it in those videos. However, it's not impossible to find romance. It's just, as a man, you have to know what to do. And with the Irish culture and going to the club and everything else, girls are always in groups. They are always in groups, but if they see a guy they like, they kind of will levitate towards that kind of guy in their group, or start making, eye contact, or giving them choosing signals or indicators of interest. But the thing is that when a guy approaches a group of girls, the guy is scathed straight away, more or less, unless he's in your top 10-20% of men. He's scathed straight away, and girls will laugh at him. Why don't you come over to me? Why come to us? What you want? And these women are absolutely drunk as anything, and so are the men. According to lifestyle coach Mary Kenny, who specializes in counseling love-hungry singletons, even nice, decent, and attractive people have difficulty finding a date. But you see, the nice person, the nice guy, if going from a purely men's perspective, the nice guy does not get anywhere with women these days. You have to be a bit of a jerk. You have to stand your ground, have an edge to you. That's what I found works best. Like a tender defender, a bit of an edge, but you're kind of caring. You have to get that balance. You can't be too much one or the other. Guys find a group of girls very intimidating. Yeah, that comes down to a confidence perspective. Now, for nights out, if I'm with another friend, we see a group of 4 girls, we'll go over and talk. We'll go over and talk pretty easily. There's even instances where I've been out on nights out with 4 girls and ask them we're in the smoking area and ask them something. I'll join their conversation. It's easy. It can be pretty easy if you just know what to do. You gotta ask them questions if you're in the smoking area, so to speak. Make them feel good. They say the women go around in packs, and it's really hard for them to get up the courage to go into the group of big women. A big group of women, big women, BBWs. Yeah, it can be quite intimidating, especially if they can be good-looking women too. To the average guy, yeah, it can be quite hard. Sometimes myself, I might get a small bit flustered over a good-looking woman, but nothing too much. It's like, oh, hey, she's pretty good. But won't stop me, if I want to go over and talk or something. The women say that when they go out, the guys are there in groups getting very drunk. They will only approach them at the end of the night when they are quite inebriated, and the women cannot be sure of their motives. Are they looking for a one-night stand or a possible relationship? Usually in the Saturday night, it's a one-night stand. Kenny, who runs courses on how to find and sustain a relationship, believes part of the problem lies in a Saturday night culture where girl gangs and male-only groups predominate. People generally socialize in single gender groups, and there's often not much interaction between the groups. Yeah, it's kind of like a high school dance. But you see, as said, the man can be quite often ostracized if he goes over to a group of girls, especially if he's not good looking or anything. They'll, what are you doing here? Good luck, get out of here. Alcohol is always an integral part of the singles social scene, admits Ben, a single civil servant in his early 30s. But women drink heavily too, he says. It's a confidence thing for both men and women. I feel the need for a few drinks before I ask someone out or even approach a girl to say hi. Yeah, Dutch courage. Drink, excuse me, is linked to Dutch courage, especially in Ireland. A guy won't go over to a girl unless he has a few pints on him. Rarely have I seen such like a bold confidence thing where a guy's like, yeah, come on, let's talk, let's groove, baby. Rarely have I seen that. But see, women just, they get absolutely plastered anyways, and it's quite disgusting to see. Like, they're crying for no reason, or they're getting into fights with guys, or they're staring at their men, or acting the general bollocks anyways. Men can do the same too. It's not a case of being wasted, it's more about just having a few drinks to give you a bit of confidence. The thing is, you gotta build your confidence anyways. Repetition is the mother of all skill. I say it, Corey Wayne says it. You gotta keep practicing talking to girls outside of a nightclub scene. But the thing is, you should not be relying on Saturday nights or Friday nights or any night you go out just to get with a girl. You shouldn't. Like, you should be joining social groups. I know we can't with the beer bug going on, but you should be going out, joining social groups and talking to women that way. Even at your gym, if there's a class going on and there's a few ladies, talk to them. Get your confidence, get used to talking to ladies and start treating them all the same, because they're just humans. They're just humans. Now, they have notions about themselves. Oh, hell yeah. That much is true. Some of them think they're God's gift to earth. They're not, they're just human. We see with the world is full of simps these days, these women have elevated notions about themselves. And because they have unlimited options, anyways, they have to choose the litter, and they really play to that advantage if they know what they're doing. But I think quite a lot of them know what they're doing anyways. Still in the morning, quite tired. Says Tara, a 30-year-old teacher, single for the past 12 months since breaking up with her boyfriend of 4 years. I wonder why they broke up. Was she bored? You see, she's hitting 30. Maybe she wants to settle down. Maybe he didn't want to. Kind of hitting the wall there at that age. Anyone that I met when I was out seemed to be drunk and unattractive, and the whole scene seemed very superficial. But you've got to, as a man on a night out, you've got to have a very tight game. You've got to have a very tight game. But the thing is, though, if she's drunk and she says, yeah, I'll sleep with you, whatever, let's do the canoodling session. She sleeps with you. She makes it the next day and regret, because she didn't want, even though she consented, or even though she said, yeah, okay, sure, and you were drunk as well, and things happen, then she looked at you the next morning and has regret. Oh, why did I do that? She can easily accuse you of something, even if she wasn't that drunk. Maybe if she was very clear on her intentions, and so were you. These days you have to be very careful. Now, obviously consent is always important and always will be important. Never force anyone, man or woman, to do something that they don't want to do. I don't think Irish people are very good at dating. So much of our social scene revolves around drinking, and the dating side of it is very random. Yeah, Irish people don't know how to date. Traditionalism, we're still behind in the times, and men gotta learn. And hopefully Irish people watch this channel that you kind of have a notion on how to date properly, really, or have ideas on how to date properly. Often men and women will only approach each other at the end of the night. Once they have a skin full of booze, that doesn't always make for sparking repartee. Thing. Now, the thing is that women will make the first move. Women always make the first move. Either through eye contact or smiling or preening. She will always give indicators of interest in a man for him to make his move. She makes her first move. It's like a dance. It's like a tango, the foxtrot, ballet. They make the first move. It's up to the men to make that move. If she's making eye contact with you a lot and giving you a smile and looking away and looks back at you, she wants you to approach her. Now, that doesn't guarantee she wants to get with you. That means she has some interest in you. Like it's over 5 out of 10. She has to have at least 51% interest in you, and you gotta talk it up. You gotta get it up. Now, if you're not a very good looking person, you can't afford to make many mistakes. Like, you've got to have really tight game. But if you're a very good looking guy, you're afforded a lot more mistakes to make, purely because you're good looking. Carrying on from that, however, she adds, I don't think that women should lay all the blame at the men's door. And yeah, women shouldn't be blaming all the men in this. Women have a big part to play in this too. Because Irish women, as I shared in previous videos, can be quite ostracizing, really bad. Like, even if you go to a girl's like, oh, here are you, she started laughing in your face, what are you doing talking to me, get away, ugly, say ya. Happens. We should also be more open to making the approach or initiating conversation. I have to admit that I'm not great at that. Yeah, women always make the first move. 99% of women make the first move, or 95% of women, either or. It's up there. They always make the first move. Carrying on. Globe trotting, County Kildare, Singleton, Michelle, Kay. I have that censored. Believes that other cultures have a more relaxed and equitable dating scene where men and women frequently socialise together. Yeah, even when I was travelling around Europe, men and women were socialising together a whole lot more. And it's a big contrast to that of in Ireland. When I travel abroad, I find girls and guys go out together, and I go out with male and female friends together. But in Ireland, I go out with the girls only night and my male friends another night. Excuse me. Yet other communities, like the Polish people and the Brazilians, socialise together. You only see this split in Irish culture. There's a split there, but it's getting better. There's a lot more integration going on between guys and girls. Tara, who spent time in the US over the past year, says she was intrigued by a dating culture where it is quite normal for men to ask women out on dates. I found American men so much more relaxed and confident about approaching women. They weren't drunk and they were very polite, straightforward and complimentary. That's a pretty good mix. However, Irish men claim that Irish women are very hard to work. Irish men claim Irish women are very hard at work. They say their expectations are too high and they're very high maintenance compared to other women. I'm going to throw something out there. If you like it, keep it. If you don't, just toss it back to me. I've got to agree with that, Kenny. They can be quite demanding, quite high maintenance and a lot of hard work. I think so. But I think if you know what you're doing and you get her properly into her feminine and everything else, then it can become quite easy to manage a relationship like that, or dating like that. Like, with my experience of dating multiple women, acting masculine, knowing what I'm doing, made things so much more easier. However, some of them will have that kind of expectations of you. So, oh no, I have no expectations of you. They still do. All women have expectations of you. But it's how you present yourself and how you carry your confidence in that. You gotta get into her feminine. Yet, according to Kenny, old-fashioned standards still prevail, yeah? They still do. It's still very rare for a woman to approach a man and ask for his number. Deep down, men are still expected to do the pursuing, and Irish men are very good at it. See, the thing with dating is that, deep breath out and big breath in, is that men pursue naturally at first. They will heavily pursue at first, setting dates and everything else. But as a woman's interest raises more and more, and he's doing everything right, gradually that dynamic shifts. So she will be doing a lot more pursuing and he won't. He can kind of go into autopilot. So she'll start beginning to call his beginning. She will begin, there we go, still not awake, to call him and everything else. All he has to say, oh hey, how are you, blah blah blah, great, build some rapport on the phone. When you're free to get together, what's your availability like? And easy as, hang out, have fun and hook up. That's all you've got to do. That's all you got to do. But Irish men kind of have that really, like, you know, that old traditionalism, the old fashioned ways. And foreign men are much more averse about seeing someone they like and going after her, she says. Female clients report that guys would ask them for the number and then fail to call. Yeah, you gotta be masculine about it, guys. Ask for a number and then call her later on. If you want to be much more bolder, in a sense, set a date there and then need to see her. If she's giving you an indication of interest, say, hey look, you seem pretty cool, I want to get to know you more. When you're free to grab a drink or whatever the case may be. Note the beer bug. When you're free for a walk in the park and a smooch near the pond. Anyways, carrying on. What many women don't suspect, she says, is that it is often a mere face-saving exercise. Sometimes if they feel a woman's not interested in a one-night stand, they'll ask for her number, but they have no intention of ringing her. A lot of women don't realise this, and it leaves them waiting for calls that never come. Phrasing. Ben wonders why women don't approach men, because it's not a very feminine thing to do. A woman approaching a man, if she has high interest in him, is quite a masculine thing to do on her behalf. If she's approaching you, that shows she has very high level of interest, but that rarely happens. In 2011, he points out, yet men are still expected to do nearly all the pursuing. At the beginning, yes, as time goes on, not necessarily, because the dynamic changes. She's more into her feminine, she's liking you more and more. If she calls you saying, oh hey, how are you doing? She's really saying to you, hey, I want to talk to you, I want to feel your presence. Date me. Slap my booty and other things that are not PG early in the morning on a Wednesday. Men are expected to do a lot of the initial chatting up. That was really bad phrasing. Chatting up, which could be quite annoying. I think it shouldn't be all down to the man. I feel women should be able to ask a guy out. Yeah, okay, fair enough, but that's not going to happen. And men don't have to do all the chatting. When it comes to dates, 80-20 rule. Men, you do 20% of the talking, she does 80%. How do you manage that? Questions that elicit good memories. Women love to talk. You get her talking, there's no stopping her. Now that is if she's introverted or extroverted, but if a woman likes you, she'll make it easy. But you gotta get her talking. Ask her good questions, quality questions, like, you know, what's your favorite childhood memory or whatever the case may be. Now that means you're not a robot during the conversation. It's like, okay, you talk for 20 minutes and I'm going to talk for 3. You don't do that. You talk from time to time, but you ask follow-up questions. And now things kind of get a bit, run out of things to talk about. Bring up something she mentioned earlier. So, okay, great. You said you went traveling in Europe. Like, what was the places you like? What was your favorite place that you traveled in? What made it so great? That kind of thing. That shows you're actively listening. She's like, oh, okay, he's taking interest in what I'm saying. You gotta ask me questions, because if you're asking the questions, you're guiding the conversation. Carrying on. But those women who do approach men can take rejection quite badly. Yeah, because that damages a woman's ego. Women can take rejection. They can take it well. They cannot. I can vouch for that. The hair follicles on my head and the hair on my legs. Women cannot take rejection well. They will go absolutely bonkers. It's a scary thing. It is a very scary thing that they go crazy. And they get quite, like even the guy says here, when a girl tells me she's not interested, I say fair enough and I walk away. Yeah, it's a great. Sorry that you're missing out on a catch like me. Enjoy your night. But sometimes if a girl approaches me and I say, not interested, they get very unpleasant. They make derogatory comments and it can get nasty. It gets really nasty. Yeah, quite nasty. It can get very bad. As women can't take rejection because they're losing, a possible source of attention and validation. It hurts their fragile egos. Like, they need that validation for their esteem, and they can't handle it. If they don't get it, oh, you know, it's boohoo.com and a glass of wine later around that night. Men are quite men are subjected to rejection a lot of the time. Women are not. If we tell a woman no, it's like hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned. Like, she'll make it very obvious she's not happy. But they don't like the rejection from a guy they want, because it's a source of validation out the window. Time and attention are a woman's utmost precious resource from a man. And then there are the friends. If you're talking to a girl and her friends don't like you, it can be quite difficult to carry on a conversation. They'll stare at you and tell the friend to come away, either because they don't like the look of you, or because just she's not being chatted up and not them. Yeah, women compete with women. That's why I'm thinking, like, if you're genuinely happy for your, like, this is what I can't comprehend. If you, a lady, are genuinely happy for your friend, some guy's talking to her like, oh no, I don't like this, I'm going to ruin her happiness. Does that mean you really like your friend? Because that's me going into that. I think women just tolerate each other and just talk for the sake of it. Women tolerate each other. Now, women can be friends, yeah, but I think the friendship is more of a tolerable friendship. And anything can ruin a friendship between women easily. Men is kind of like, oh, F you and F you, blah, blah. Oh, sorry, man, look. You know, it's like, oh, it's okay, dude, it's okay, bro. Come on, give me some handshake and we'll play Fortnite together. Women's at a whole different ballgame. And that's happened to me in Nights Out. There was one girl I was chatting up before, and she was like a very good looking woman, and she was in like her late 20s, and we kissed and everything else. And what was it? I'll retell the exact happening of it. So anyways, I was out with group people one night, and this brings a smile back to my face. Simpler times. And there was a woman at the bar, and one of the women I was talking to, who I knew at the time, was like, I find it difficult, you know, finding a guy. And I was like, great. So like I said, let's ask this woman. I was like, hey, if you wanted a guy, what would be your top priorities? And it was like, okay, this, that, and no small D. And I was like, what size is a small D? And she said, anything above 4 inches. I'm like, great, 4.5, here we come. Oh boy. No, I wasn't thinking that. Anyways, carrying on. Conversation was going from there, and she was like, you look a bit gay. Now, like, you know, I dress well. Better than men in Ireland. Majority of men. There's men in Ireland who dress very well, which I'm pretty proud to say. Anyways, I was like, oh no. Jeez, I said the last person said that to me, I had to kiss them. There was a girl as well who said it to me before, and she's like, oh really? So I shifted her, right? Shifted her the way to kiss. Very smooth into transition into that. However, her friend, the look in her friend's face could cut a loaf of bread in half, and she was not happy at all. She drags her friend away, and I was like, look, if you want to come back to me, you know where I am. If you see me, just pop on over. We'll carry on from where we left off. She's like, okay. Now, provided I didn't see her for the rest of the night, but her friend dragged her away. She's like, oh, my friend thought you were with that girl. I was like, no, I just kissed you. Like, what would make her insinuate that? Her friend was jealous, and she was with 2 other guys that she didn't want to be left alone with. I think that she knew them as well, so her friend wasn't having it. But women can be quite jealous. I'm gonna hit like 22 minutes here, so I'll finish off soon. Carrying on. Oopsie daisy. Oopsie daisy. Where am I going with this now? Ben's not too bothered though. I don't struggle to meet girls because I enjoy being single. I don't see anything women with not having a long-term girlfriend. I'm not desperately seeking one. Good man, Ben. I've had a few long-term relationships, and it can be confining. It can be. I know what you mean. But yeah, I'll finish off with one last thing here at the very bottom. Women in their mid to late 30s have it hardest, believes Kenny. Many men don't want to settle down until in their 30s, she says, and they're looking for a younger woman. Yeah, they are, because younger women are a lot more fertile. And plus, when a man is in his 30s, he's in his prime, and he wants the younger chicks, and the younger chicks will start noticing him. Because in his 20s, these girls in their early 20s were not noticing him whatsoever. Not a sausage. Now, because he's matured, he's got his finances in order and everything else, this girl's like, okay, yeah, he's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'll give him the time of day. And he'll want younger girls. It's a lot more fertile. It's a lot more of an evolutionary sense. The men in their 30s, mid-30s, do not want women the same age. And they don't. And then the women will scare them, saying, oh, you can't handle a real woman, or it takes a real man to handle me. Those are just female shaming tactics. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Quite long, so I might just leave it at the one video today. But anyways, take care, God bless, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, it's an early morning for me. But anyways, until next time, take care and God bless. And as per usual, the source will be in the description below.